Okay, welcome back to Rice Lake Curling Club, beautiful sheet 2, and we're going to pick up our skipping basics. This is our second video. Again, we're with Bill Kind, who is working with us today to allow us to kind of pick his brain as we go through some additional skip basics. We're going to be using line call and how to call, various types of takeout weights. So let's begin here, Bill. We've got the free guard up front of the house. That would be the first rock thrown. If you're going to instruct your team, what's going to be your shot on the come around if you want to place it in the forefoot?
Okay, I'm going to call for a draw, and if I want to come around, a real important thing I suggest you do is always to place your broom on the tee line. And of course you want to place it corresponding to the amount of curl, which can change one sheet to another. So if you put your broom on the tee line, that's a frame of reference. Find out that it's curling a lot, next time you can give more ice, or if it isn't curling much, you can narrow up. But you've got this to remember rather than standing out in front of the house or some other place with the broom. As I'm calling the come around and I place my broom, my job as skip is to watch the line of the stone. If they throw the stone correctly on the line, I might tell them line is good. If the stone happens to be a little inside of where I asked it to be, then as a line call, I might ask them to sweep to help get around that guard stone, help hold it straighter. If they threw it wide, I'm going to say weight only so that they judge the weight and try to bring it into position. If it's outside, rather than trying to put it behind here, then I might then ask that they leave the rock short so that it's something I can use later. The sweepers, their job is to judge the weight. I don't want to call the weight from the house because I can't tell as well as they can. Now, of course, if they don't have a lot of experience, I want to help them out. But my job is to tell them where I want the rock to end up. Again, if it's wide, I may not want to go into the house, I want to stay out. If it's narrow, I want to sweep to get it in or maybe to split that rock. But their job is to tell me what they think the weight is, where it might end up, and to sweep if it's light and needs more weight.
Okay, we now kind of have a pretty good feel for, that drawing or using line call for draw shots. And from there, Bill's going to draw it in or bring that rock into play. Being that that's here, the team that threw their lead rock, or they do not have hammer, let's say that they're now going to shoot this rock or take it off the playing surface. Kind of walk us through how many different types of takeout weights that you think, teams should kind of employ.
Okay. First, I would recommend that every player develop their most effective takeout weight. And then during a game, don't change that weight. If the skip changed the amount of ice that they give, don't change your weight because they're adjusting according to how much they've been watching the ice curl. So you throw the same weight every time unless the skip asks for a different weight. If your normal weight is one that would go through the house and bounce off the back wall, and the skip wants a lighter weight, you might ask for a hack weight, in which case the rock would, by itself, would end up at about the hack. Otherwise, a normal takeout weight might be one that just goes back and bumps off. We call that board or board plus weight. Throw the same weight every time. And my job as skip is to call line. If the thrower hits the broom, I might again say line's good. If the sweepers think the weight is higher than the normal takeout weight, then they're going to tell me weight's up. Or they'll say normal or up normal or whatever signals we have. If they think the weight's down, say weight's down, hack weight, or whatever they think it is. If the rock is thrown narrow, I'm going to call, my line call is going to be sweep, hurry, yep, whatever because the more we sweep, the straighter it's going to stay on a takeout. If they threw the rock a little wide of my broom, I'm going to ask them not to sweep, to allow the rock to pick up a curl and still make the shot. Now here's an interesting thing. If you throw a heavy takeout and you miss by a little bit, that rock's not going to have a chance to curl. So a nice takeout weight is what we call board or board plus, that would come down and just bump off that line. You really don't need to throw a rock harder than that to knock stones out.
I think that's really something to kind of bear in mind, is that, you know, you watch some of the competitive curlers, they throw what people call big weight. For most of us that curl, that's pretty hard to do because we just don't have the balance and the experience to do that. So what Bill is calling for here, this is something that of kind of what you call repeatability, so that you can throw it consistently, so there's that kind of relationship between Skip and his players, and it makes it just a little easier to play the game.
You don't want to be second guessing when you're throwing the stone. Well, it looks like he wants more weight or less weight. You want to know what's going on. Now for beginning curlers, it's difficult to adjust between draw and a takeout weight, and the tendency is to overthrow and they lose their line. Really, it doesn't take much more weight than draw weight to knock a stone out of the house. You can come in with just a little over draw weight, a rock that would end up back here, and it has enough weight to knock it out. And even if it doesn't knock it all the way out, your rock then still stays in place, and you're building offense.
You know, this is important sometimes to know just some of the basics. You know, we have a 12-foot circle, and the distance between where that free guard is to the end line, you're only needing 13 to 14 feet of difference, you know, to make it kind of work. And again, getting back to it, it seems that some of the common mistakes are throwing weights at different speeds and maybe asking for too much weight. In this case, these are shots, even if they're missed somewhat, you can still get something back on.
Yeah, a softer weight gives sweeping a chance to come into play. You overthrow and you get offline, it's coming. So communication is important. The sweepers, you need to learn how to communicate the weight of the stone to Skip. That'll assist him in calling line calls, him or her, I should say. There you have it.
And there you have it. Skip video number 2. Thanks so much.